What if the reason you're stuck isn't because of what you're doing, but because of who you're still being? You've probably read the books, said the affirmations, and made vision boards that look like dreamscapes. And yet, deep down, there's a familiar feeling that despite all your efforts, you still wake up as the same version of yourself. Here's the truth most people don't tell you. You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. And that's why nothing outside will truly change until something within does. But here's the good news, this shift doesn't require waiting for years or some grand spiritual awakening. You don't have to find your future self. You have to become it, now. In this video, you'll discover how to embody the version of yourself that already has what you desire. Not just through mindset, but by literally changing your energy, your neurology, and your vibration. Because when your body, your thoughts, and your emotions are in coherence, you stop signaling lack and start broadcasting alignment. This isn't about pretending. It's about remembering. Remembering the version of you who speaks with confidence, walks with purpose, and acts from trust, not fear. We'll walk step by step through the identity shift method, a science-backed framework that rewires your inner reality so your outer reality can finally reflect it. And before we dive in, take a breath and imagine this. You wake up tomorrow with total clarity. Your thoughts match your desires. Your body feels electric, alive, inspired. You walk through your day not trying to change, but simply being the person who already has it all. That's not a fantasy. It's a frequency. And you're just a few steps away from tuning into it. Let's begin. Why is it that despite your intentions, your vision boards, and your late-night journaling, you keep waking up feeling like the same person? The answer isn't in what you're missing. It's in what you're repeating. Most people live 95% of their day unconsciously. They wake up and replay the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, take the same actions, and expect a new life to appear. But here's the paradox. Your body doesn't know the difference between a remembered past and an imagined future. If you keep feeling frustrated, anxious, or not enough, your body codes those emotions as your identity. You're not just thinking like your old self, you're being them. Let's break it down. Every thought you think sends a signal to your brain. That signal triggers an emotion. The emotion confirms the thought. And just like that, a loop is created, a neural and emotional pattern that becomes your personality. This is why you can have a powerful vision but still sabotage it. Because the version of you trying to create a new life is still operating on the emotional software of the past. And the body? It memorizes emotions better than the mind. That's why even after a breakthrough, your muscles tense the same way when stress hits. That's why your breathing shallows when someone questions your worth. Your body is addicted to who you've been. And until that changes, you can't sustainably become who you're meant to be. This isn't your fault, it's biology. The brain is a record of the past. It organizes your memories into patterns that feel safe. So when you try to change, even with good intentions, your system resists, not because it hates you, but because it wants certainty. Here's the kicker. The more you try to become your future self, the more your nervous system perceives that future as different from who you are. You reinforce separation, not connection. So what do? You stop trying. And you start being. Let's use a metaphor. Imagine your identity is like a thermostat. You say you want wealth, love, or freedom, but your internal thermostat is still set to scarcity, rejection, or overwhelm. Even if life turns the heat up for a moment, you unconsciously cool it back down. Your internal settings override your external opportunities. To change your reality, you must reset the thermostat, not externally, but internally. This begins with awareness. Ask yourself, what emotions do I rehearse daily? What thoughts feel like truth but are just habits? How does my body respond to the unfamiliar? This level of self-honesty is powerful because it reveals the gap between your current signal and your desired reality. Now here's a powerful insight. Your personality creates your personal reality. Your thoughts equals your beliefs. Your emotions equals your frequency. Your habits equals your identity. So if you want a different life, you don't start with out there. You begin within here. And that's where this journey really begins, not in fixing the world, but in transforming your signal. Because when you change your internal state, the universe has no choice but to respond to the new vibration you're emitting. You're no longer reacting from survival. You're creating from coherence. And as you'll see in the next chapter, there is a science to becoming your future self. But for now, take a breath. Notice the thoughts trying to resist this truth. They've been your companions for a long time. But they're not you. They're echoes of who you've been, not prophecies of who you'll become. And once you recognize them, you have the power to choose something new. If you've ever wondered why simply thinking positive doesn't always change your life, this is the chapter you've been waiting for. Let's go deeper. You are not just a mind. You are a field of energy, constantly broadcasting information into the quantum field. And the universe doesn't respond to your words, it responds to your frequency. Now, what creates that frequency? It's not just what you think. It's what you feel. And more importantly, it's how aligned your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are. This is called coherence. When your heart, brain, and body are in sync, you become energetically clear. Your signal is strong. You become magnetic. Think of a radio tower. If the frequency is distorted, the message doesn't transmit. But when it's aligned, you reach your destination. The same is true for manifestation. Here's what science tells us. Your thoughts are electric. Your emotions are magnetic. Together, they generate your energetic signature. When you think about your dream life but feel doubt, fear, or lack, you're sending a mixed signal. The universe gets confused. But when your thoughts and emotions match the experience you desire, gratitude, confidence, joy, you begin to embody the energy of your future. And now, your body is no longer waiting for life to change. It believes life has already changed. That's when you become a vibrational match. Let's get practical. Your heart has an electromagnetic field thousands of times stronger than your brain. It's measurable. It's real. And it responds to intention. When you focus on elevated emotions, gratitude, love, wholeness, you begin to tune your heart's frequency. Combine that with clear intention, and you unlock powerful alignment. So here's a simple practice you can do right now. 1. Sit still. Close your eyes. 2. Take a slow breath in through your nose, and exhale gently. 3. Bring your awareness to your heart. 4. Think of a moment you felt truly grateful. Let the feeling expand. 5. Now, hold an image of your future self. See them clearly. 6. Feel what they feel. Walk in their shoes, here, now. As you breathe into this feeling, you're doing more than imagining. You're encoding. You're literally teaching your body what the future feels like before it happens. And here's the magic. Your brain and nervous system begin to fire new circuits. You activate different genes. Your body starts producing chemicals aligned with this new version of you. This is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself based on experience. But the experience doesn't need to come from the outside. It can come from the inside. When practiced consistently, this creates a new baseline for your identity. You stop being the person reacting to circumstances. And you start being the person who creates them. Let's anchor this with a metaphor. Imagine your current self is like software version 1.0, limited, slow, outdated. But the future you? That's version 5.0, faster, sharper, more expansive. The only way to upgrade is to install the new emotional code. That means feeling as if now, not someday. When you become the future self in your inner world, life begins to arrange itself around that signal. And yes, this requires repetition. But it's not mechanical. It's emotional. Emotion is the carrier wave. When you practice this with feeling, you accelerate the change. Now let's pause. How does your body feel right now? Are you energized? Calm? Expanded? Good. You're not just learning. You're already shifting. This is what alignment feels like, not effortful, but natural. Not forced, but remembered. And if this moment inspired something in you, if it lit a fire inside that says, I remember who I really am, then you're ready for the next step. Because now that your energy is shifting, your actions must too. So far, we've explored the problem, why you're stuck. We've seen the science, how your identity and energy align. Now it's time to walk the path to become. The version of you that already lives the life you desire is not in the future. It exists now, as a possibility waiting to be claimed. And the only thing standing in the way is the old you. Let's begin the identity shift method. Step 1. Define your future self. Close your eyes and ask, who is the version of me that already lives my ideal life? How do they walk, speak, decide, breathe? What do they no longer tolerate? What do they do consistently? This isn't fantasy, it's blueprinting. See this self clearly. Not as a goal, but as your new standard. If you struggle to imagine it, think about someone you admire. Not to copy them, but to activate the dormant version of you that resonates with that power. You're not inventing. You're remembering. Step 2. Emotional installation. Now that you see it, you must feel it. This is where most people stop, they visualize but don't encode. You can't think your way into a new identity. You must emotionally embody it. Here's how. Breathe deeply. Recall a moment of deep pride or gratitude. Let that emotion flood your body. Now overlay that emotion onto your future self-image. Let them merge. The body begins to believe it's already true. This is how you rewrite your emotional signature. Step 3. Behavior integration. This part changes everything. From now on, act as if. Speak as that version. Choose as that version. Move as that version. You don't wait for confidence to arrive, you express it. Because embodiment means your external actions match your internal reality. And yes, at first it feels awkward. That's not failure, it's evidence that you're no longer operating on autopilot. Let's use an example. Imagine someone named Alex. Every morning, Alex used to wake up, check social media, and spiral into comparison and stress. But after practicing the identity shift method, Alex created a new identity, a calm, focused leader who values creativity. Now Alex wakes up, breathes deeply, affirms their new identity, and begins the day with clarity and direction. Did everything change overnight? No. But over 30 days, Alex's nervous system adjusted. The new identity wasn't just imagined, it became real. This is the power of repetition with emotion. Each time you act from your future self, you weaken the neural circuits of your past. You're not faking it. You're training it. Let's reinforce with a tool, the mirror method. Every morning, look into the mirror and say, I am already the version of me I used to dream of. Say it with conviction. Eye to eye. Until your body responds. At first, it might feel strange. But soon, the body obeys what the heart believes. Step 4. Daily ritual of return. Life will pull you back. Triggers will appear. Doubts will whisper. So build a ritual. Just 10 minutes a day. Sit in silence. Breathe with intention. Visualize your future self. Feel the elevated emotion. Move into the day from that state. This resets your energetic field and realigns your trajectory. And if you miss a day, don't spiral. Return with grace. This isn't about perfection. It's about consistency. Because when your energy remains coherent, the field responds. And the world rearranges around the version of you that no longer hopes, but embodies. So ask yourself, who do I choose to be today? What actions reflect that choice? Am I living from memory or from vision? Your answers become your identity. And your identity becomes your life. You're not becoming someone new. You're becoming someone true. And that truth is ready to live through you. You've journeyed through the science, the soul, and the shift. And now, the question is no longer if you'll change, but how intentionally you'll live that change. Let's be clear. You don't need more information. You need embodiment. You don't need to attract your dream reality. You need to become its vibrational match. Because the version of you that lives with confidence, ease, love, and clarity, it's not miles away. It's a decision away. A choice to act, feel, and think from that state today. Not when circumstances allow, but when you choose. And yes, doubts will visit. Old patterns will knock. But now, you know what they are, echoes, not truth. Every time you return to your breath, your heart, your future vision, you're reinforcing the new signal. And that signal changes your body, changes your energy, and ultimately, changes your reality. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, give yourself 10 minutes each morning. Visualize. Feel. Embody. Speak, walk, and decide as your future self. Watch how life responds. Not because you're chasing, but because you're broadcasting. And now I ask you, who are you ready to stop being? Who are you finally ready to become? What version of you is waiting to live, not in theory, but in practice? If this video moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of your power, then share it. Let others feel what you've just remembered. And if you're ready for more, subscribe and turn on notifications. Because this journey isn't over. It's just beginning. Welcome back to who you really are.